poopy.
My name is Bond. Frank Bond.
Right, and I'm Ursula Andress.
I know.
Do I have to do everything around here, Frank?
Oh, sorry, boss. It's just that when you're a top secret agent with a license to kill like myself, you always find yourself in scuba gear. But not only that, there's that endless series of formal parties, dances, and dinners that you have to attend. I mean, it's really easy to fit a tuxedo under a wetsuit. But what about footwear?
Show the product, Frank. Smile. Introducing the formal flipper. Step out of the ocean and into high society with the formal flipper.
By Bass. And what about the ladies?
The ladies, pan down, Jerry.
Hello, Federal.
I don't know what you folks are doing up there, but if I were you, I'd take the pizza off the ceiling.
Well, dear peoples, our Invention Exchange this week is a new consumer product. Frank?
Hi, my name is TV's Frank, and I am a Stoogeaholic.
Hi, TV's Frank.
You know, ever since I was a little kid, I was always a big Three Stooges fan, in all their various incarnations, except for Curly Joe Doriti. You know, he lacks subtlety. But, you know, I could never emulate their exquisite fight choreography. Until now, that is.
That's right. That's why we've invented these, the Three Stooges gun. They come in both offensive and defensive. Hey, spinach chin!
No, Mo, nyuk, 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 whoop, whoop.
Oh, how I loathe you.
Certainly, whoop, whoop.
Well, Aunt Jemima, our Invention Exchange this week has to do with meat. Frank?
Well, you know, recently I've become a vegetarian, and it's worked out great, really. You know, the other day my colon looked up at me and said, Frank, thank you. I said, no, thank you. But now what am I going to do with all the meat I have stored in freezers? I figured, hey, why not bring the meat back to life?
That's right. That's why we've invented the meat reanimator. Hook it up, Frank.
Clear.
It's alive! Alive! My corn-fed Minnesota chicken is alive!
You know, I thought this was a good idea, but this is one weird mamma jamma.
What do you think, Garrick Utley?
Hello, Button. Let's slam straight away into this week's Invention Exchange.
Big noses.
That's right, the super schnoz.
El grande vosotros.
What?
Big noses.
Right. Durante, eat your heart out. Big honkers.
Coming at ya.
In 3D. Do I smell pie in the oven?
Not in this building. Say, Doctor, sports scent tonight?
Well, what's the point of the big noses anyway?
Well, they're just really big, you know? Just think of the stuff you could do with them.
Very useful. Now I can brown nose myself.
Happy hour is over, Taco Beelzebub. You know, in your little food talk, you failed to mention that breakfast is still the most important meal of the day. Isn't that right, Frank?
Yes, sir. As a matter of fact, I usually try to have my breakfast first thing in the morning. Which for me is usually about 2:30 in the afternoon. Oh, God, it hurts.
There. Why don't you run along and play, Frank?
Thanks, Steve.
He's in therapy. Well, anyway, our Invention Exchange this week is for family members who won't come in for breakfast. You bring breakfast to them with the breakfast bazooka. Oh, Frank, come in for breakfast.
I'm playing.
You died, Joe. This delicious meal has a flat trajectory and a muzzle velocity of 2,400 feet per second.
It's all part of this nutritious war.
Oh, Frank, it's time to reveal this week's Invention Exchange. Oh, accept the pain, Frank. You've heard the expression, that's a hard pill to swallow. Well, our Invention Exchange this week is just that, some hard pills to swallow. You see this pill right here? That should be easy to swallow, shouldn't it, Frank? Yes, it should be easy except for the 3-pronged fish hook attached to it. This pill, I'm not going to kid you, this is very difficult to swallow. It's a not-so-tiny time pill complete with a living gerbil.
Terry, no!
Oh, Terry, yes. If you can keep it down, you have a pet that knows you inside and out. Turn, Frank, and cough. If you have trouble keeping one pill down, try our pill necklace of picric acid. 150 5 capsules on a string. Keep your gag reflex active till the cows come home. The longer it takes to swallow, the harder it gets. Yes, and the children love vitamin shapes, shaped like cartoons, whimsical shapes. And wouldn't it be hard on all those Flintstone kids if their favorite cartoon vitamin came, turn Frank, life size? Balls in your court, Joel.
Frank, it's time to reveal this week's Invention exchange.
And boy, is it ever gonna sting.
Sting is right. The holiday season is here, the boss is on vacation, and we've gone crazy! Now, I know from experience that nothing chafes a kid's hinder more than his request for a neat toy maligned into a safe and practical gift. Enter the Wish Squisher.
Yeah, what you do is you take a really cool toy that any kid would dig, like these video cassette cartridge games. You take it, stick it through the Wish Squisher.
And it comes out as annoying and practical as any gift from Aunt Vida. Check it out. Underoos that won't fit for 2 years.
And what kid wouldn't love as a gift? More money than he or she will ever deserve. But then, suddenly, it starts to get weird. The rules change. You start to feel kind of bad.
Voila. What was once the bright promise for the future becomes your 4-year-old sister's raisin collection.
And nothing, and I mean nothing, is more fun than racing slot cars, just like this one around the Christmas tree. But no!
What was once your first draft grade A choice from your parents as a gift becomes socks.
Socks, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, what was once crummy, speedball, black and green, rayon-encrusted, uncomfortable socks becomes...
Run it through again, Frank.
Okay, running it through a Wish Squisher. Yep, it becomes...
A gift certificate for a stationery store.
You know, when you've been hospitalized as frequently as I have, the same old hospital food gets to be a real drag. Particularly the flavorless swill that they pump intravenously into your arms as you drift in and out of consciousness.
That's why I've invented these new tasty boil-in-the-bag intravenous dinners.
Who says a coma can't be delicious?
That's right, no more glycopyrrolate, administered drably at 0.8 milligrams per liter of Ringer's lactate. This is hearty Irish stew with cubed lamb. And this is a delightful Poulon Vin Rouge that we have here.
Is that thyme I'm tasting?
60 parts per million, Frank. Here's cauliflower, and would you like to see our dessert cart?
Should I?
Well, we have Palmyra figs in a port sauce that's very tasty, or almond cake with apricot coulis. It's really decadent.
Okay, you talked me into it, but please, small portions.
Our experiment this week is in honor of your horribly stinky film. Now, we all remember and love the antics of comedian Joe Besser on the old Abbott and Costello show. Well, we can relive those moments with my new Stinky bomb.
Yes, now you can turn any friend into that lovable buffoon who was a lisping man-child long before it became fashionable.
I think it would go something like this.
Oh,
Elegant, isn't it?
Don't harm you.
Now we're going to do a structure called Man in the Street. It certainly is warm today, Frank.
It's cold.
You know what they say about Chicago.
Say, is that Milli Vanilli?
Frank!
I am not Spock.
Frank, go get strapped into this week's Invention exchange.
Okay, Dudley.
Well, Joel, I'm going to come right out and say it. I really like buffet dining. Although it can be a dream come true, sometimes it's quite tiring. That's why we've invented the new conveyor belt buffet. Swiss steak, Frank?
Oui, oui, monsieur.
How about some southern baked ham?
I've always depended on the kindness of caterers.
Juice? What about mashed potatoes?
Mashed enchantment.
And for those of you who like truly fast food, you've never seen food this fast before.
I'll just have some, and then I'll take a little, and then I'll, with the, and,
Well, Joel, not only have we invented the world's fastest buffet, we've invented a Lucy sketch. Back to you, Desi Lou. Well, Marriott Hartley, our invention exchange this week deals with the concept of facial tissue. We've come up with tissue that has faces.
That's right. Think right-wing columnist Pat Buchanan is no one to sneeze at? Well, now you can.
Frank's chosen the Kleenex line of presidential candidates for '92, while I've relied on the Star Search comedy competition runners-up series. For instance, there's Sinbad. Women be different than men. That's it. Or there's Rick Dukeman. I hate chocolate. That's it. And what collection would be complete without 10-time winner Ichi Guy? I lost to a damn ventriloquist.
You know, I'm having a hard time sneezing into this thing. I mean, maybe Pat Buchanan really is no one to sneeze at. He's even more evil than Bruce Willis.
Oh, some fresh pepper, Frank? No, Frank sneezes are insensitive. Frank, no!
Here, it's going to start hurting soon. Take one of these for pain, and the red ones should reduce the swelling.
Thanks, Steve.
Well, very clever, Holly Hobby. Now taste the red-hot steel of Dr. Clayton Firebrand Forrester. The punching bag has always had a sound principle behind it. Frank?
Yes, that it's fun to beat Boffo the Clown savagely and repeatedly till the Boffo's bleeding from the ears. But then, alas, the thrill is gone. The fire goes out of your belly. You need something new to stimulate your imagination.
That's right. That's why we've invented these hateful punching bags with images of characters from the Renaissance Festival. For instance, there's the rat catcher. Excuse me, sir, is that your head or did your neck throw up? Don't bite me, Frodo. And there's the ever-popular leather mug maker. Please, sir, sample my wares.
Sample my fist, you community theater reject.
Lovable Harlequin. I am Harlequin.
I am your worst nightmare. $23 to get in. Huzzah my butt, you satin-suited, Tolkien-reading loser.
That's enough, Frank.
Stuffing instead of potatoes, honey, I love you.
Meat is murder, Frank. Speaking of conserving waste, just because your British pop sensation's career has gone stale doesn't mean that he has to. That's why we've invented the Tupperware container to lock in pop star freshness. Who's our stale singing sensation, Frank?
Well, it's none other than British pop star Morrissey. He's a little depressed. So, Morrissey, how you doing?
He hurt me with that remark. Did I mention that I cried?
Well, I mean, come on, Morrissey. I mean, we're basically evil, granted, but a lot of what we say around here is just good-natured ribbon.
Well, it hurt me. Did I mention that I cried? Is it wrong not to always be glad?
Well, we seem to have got you at a bad time.
Grades aren't important. It's the SATs that count. Well, now the good doctor and I would like to make a prediction about the next big trend in entertainment. Move over comedy clubs, move over trendy discussion salons, move over karaoke bars. Here comes ventriloquism. Big, broad, sassy, and brassy. And now, Deep 13, in association with George Slaughter Productions, would like to present the ventriloquistic stylings of Dr. Clayton Forrester and his lovable sidekick, Resussa Annie.
Hello, this is Resussa Annie. We've secured over 2,000 of these previously owned CPR demonstration dolls and retrofitted them with ventriloquist animations in anticipation of the ventriloquist boom of the 90s. And without further ado, it's time to sit back and laugh and learn with Resussa Annie. Well, say hello to the nice folks, Resussa.
Hello, nice folks.
Resussa, I implore you to be kind and courteous to these well-meaning and clean people here today.
I want to go find some chicks.
But Resussa, you is a chick. I said, Resussa, you is a chick. Frank, something's wrong. This looks like the big one. I'll revive Resuscita and tell Joel about the movie. You dial 911 while drinking water.